So this is my simple Arena 3 strategy for 2v2s. The biggest thing I can say about this is just stay back. I call it the stay back strat. It includes 2 aerial cards, 2 foreground and aerial defenders, 2 heavies, and 2 defense cards. 1 must be a barrel. So this specific deck that I'm using at the time consists of Balloon, Witch, Valkyrie, the Skeleton Army, Musketeer, Baby Dragon, Prince, and Goblin Barrel. In case you're not too familiar with strategy in general, save your elixir. It's literally your life aside from hit points, and I'll explain more as we go. The strategy is simple. I'm not going to complicate it with gameplay and commentary because that doesn't help much. I noticed when I was first learning how to play, I would watch videos and the commentary was great and I thought it was helping me, but it didn't actually teach me a strategy. So what I'm going to tell you right now is just make sure that every card you play can attack at least 2 of their cards. Never play any more unless you absolutely have to. So as you watch these gameplays, you'll see that every time they have enemies coming towards us, we would most likely spend less elixir versus the elixir they spent, and we'd still win the defense, right? So another thing too is you may not get the exact card you want at all times. Just know that this deck that you're using will make sure you're pushing the right style of card at all times. So right off the bat, save your elixir to 10. Start with the Witch or Dragon. Before it hits 10, I want you to push a Witch or a Dragon. It's a strong card for aerial and ground units. If they don't come out, you have Musketeers, and at the very least you have the Valkyrie. You'll always know what card to play. So while you're playing these cards, you're making room for more aerial cards. And I cannot stress enough, never stress send cards. Never waste your elixir. It's literally the only way you're going to stay around. If you start pushing elixir and you push out skeletons and they all die, well, you've just lost all that elixir and you have to wait that much more time to get out a card. And by the time you're ready to get a card out, guess what? They've taken a castle. So save your elixir. And you might be asking yourself, how are we going to survive the attack? Well, your queens do more damage than you think. So leave it up to them to scrap the rest of the enemies. Even if they take a little bit of damage, they're important. Only send when they send. And typically you want to set your cards behind or next to your queens and king. Why? The damage of the castles give you that advantage and the chance to use less elixir against their elixir. So while your witch goes up against their witch, you have the queens or the king actually giving you that leverage, making your witch stronger than their witch and giving you more life to make it across the bridge. Now with these specific games, I was really lucky with these 2v2s because my partner had a very similar deck to mine. So we had a good gameplay flow, and that doesn't come around much, which is why we were rematching so many times because we really vibed well together. A couple things too about this deck is just remember that skeletons are for heavy ground units and should always be paired with an aerial attacker, just so they don't die as fast. You get a skeleton stuck with a Valkyrie, you're pretty much lose your army. But if you have a Musketeer behind it or a Witch behind it, you may have them survive longer. Barrels are good for pushing the attack and keeping them on the defense as well. It's a good way to distract the enemies if you get overwhelmed. If you want to play them in the center of your side of the map, it'll distract any heavies or the dragons or anybody that they send at you, at least for a second or two, giving you enough time to build up that elixir, and again, pushing out some good content. And I know I have balloons in my deck and you don't see me use them too often. I use them as a safety net. I never send them unless I'm confident that I have enough cards out to distract the enemies from my balloon so it makes it to the castle. The damage that the balloons do are so mass that you actually want it to at least hit the castle once, because the bomb itself is going to do some damage. If you have enough cards out that are protecting the balloon, taking the damage for you, you're going to take their castle instantly. You could just play pure defense from that point. So give this a try. It's worked for me. I'll post a 1v1 video soon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video.